All right. I just finished answering a bunch of questions, and yeah, hopefully they're useful to somebody. And I don't know why I'm starting this video off talking about that, because for the user, they might be like, or the viewer, excuse me, you're like, what are you talking about? But anyway, um, I wanted to talk about the iPhone 14, and I know that a lot of people have bought it. A lot of people are looking forward to it. Um, and yeah, I think one video in particular is really what gets me. And I even watched it. And again, it's not bad. And I'll just say, I think it was from Unbox Therapy. It was either a video or a link to one of the sites or one of the shorts. I don't know. But I think that the title was like, you might want to skip the iPhone 14 or skip this one, wait for the 15 or something. And my first question would be, have you considered Android? Not that I'm an Android fanboy or whatever. I've said it before and I'll always say it. I think Android is just a better operating system. It's definitely more versatile. It's available on more products that aren't just sold by Google. Of course, it's not as fluid as iOS might be. And then, yeah, if you're not in the Apple ecosystem, being in the Android ecosystem isn't probably as gracious. I don't know. But Android itself, just looking at it individually and looking at iOS individually, for me, Android is just a better operating system. So we get the iPhone 14s, we get the iPhone 14 Pros, and then essentially the iPhone 14 is the same thing or has the same internals from the iPhone 13 Pros. So I think you get the same exact A15 Bionic, and I think you get the same number of GPU cores. So it's like, well, is this phone even any different? And obviously, yeah, the screen is different, and it's not the Pro of this particular year, but the internals were fine. And honestly, I don't even have a gripe with that, because we've gotten to the point where iPhones are just, yes, they are way faster than I don't even know yet what the fastest Android phone is. I know my Zen phone has the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Ooh, that was extremely too wordy. And yeah, we are definitely on the iPhone side way beyond whatever that chip is capable of performing at. So yeah, that iterative update honestly doesn't even bother me. And in fact, in Apple's keynote, yeah, they were comparing the A16 to the A13, signifying that the jump between the 15 and the 16 wasn't that great, and probably the jump between the 14 and the 15 wasn't that great. So yeah, they're now trying to show over this amount of time, we've actually made some improvements, which every year I'm sure they make some improvement. But yeah, so I'm honestly not even bothered by that, because it gets to the point where whether it's, I guess people always say physics or, engineering, I don't know. Yeah, you're not going to be able to make those year over year jumps that, let's say, the Intel to the M1 Max made. Again, you're not going to get that every year, and that's perfectly fine. But so that's fine. One of the positives that I'll say before I get back to nagging is that you now, from iFixit's teardown, and I think Jerry Rig Everything did this or showed it. But yeah, you're able to open the display easily, which you have been able to do. But now you're also able to, and I'm doing all this without an iPhone in my hand. So yeah, you're able to open the display as you have been able to. But now the back glass also comes off very easily. And when you open the display, the battery isn't there. So if you need to swap the display out, you do that. Boom, you turn it over, and then now you're able to take the glass off, and you are able to get to the battery from the back, which I think is a good thing, because if you're swapping out the battery and you have to open the screen, that screen's pretty expensive, and if you damage the screen even when it was fine in efforts to try to change the battery, then you kind of kick yourself, or whoever's doing the repair kicks themselves. So it's nice that, all right, cool, Apple now allows you to open the phone from the back, which again, I think is only available on the regulars, not on the Pro devices. And I think the price difference, like for repairing that back glass, went from like $500 to like $160 or something. Something that was absurd to have to pay that much to repair a piece of glass on the back, because of how it was engineered. It wasn't engineered to be replaced, which it's like, it's glass. It's going to break. So why would you not make it easy to repair? Which of course it's so that they can charge you $500 to repair some glass, which is asinine. And of course, as I mentioned, the iPhone 14 Pros still open the same way, I believe, and the batteries accept access from the front, and I don't know if the back glass comes off at all. So even then, that's kind of like half-assedly done right there. Cool. And then, the big thing for this year was the dynamic island, which I give Apple kudos for realizing that they have a big hole or two holes in the front of their screen or on their screen and doing something with it, as opposed to receiving whatever type of backlash they received when the notch was created. They were proactive with it. So kudos to them. But I will not commend them on the redesign of the iPhone regular 14, because it should have always been like that. It should have always been easily accessible for the front and the back to come off if the battery is accessed from the back, or can be accessed from the back. Great. And the reason I say it like that is the iPhone 4, the back did come off of that, and that was easy to do. But in order to take the screen off, that took some work. I've done it. I think I did it once way back when, but that took a little bit of work. So yeah, kudos to them, I guess. Whatever. Kudos on the dynamic island. Oh, camera's overheating, so I'm going to pause it right here.